Let you next for high school football, TV7, TV34 local sports. Coming your way next on cable channel 7, Pontotoc.
And welcome to week 8 of the high school football season, where the stakes are high tonight, where the Pontotoc Warriors travel here to Ripley to play the Ripley Tigers in a Division I Class 3A football matchup, where both teams come in, Pontotoc coming in 7-0 and the overall record, of course, and of course the Ripley Tigers 6-1 with one loss in division play. Of course, Pontotoc undefeated. Paul, big matchup tonight. Here the game that's been much anticipated, a big 3-week stretch facing the Warriors right here. Divisional division implication or playoff implications weighing in the balance. Balance is deciding upon what happens here tonight.
Well, Patrick, this is what you play all season for. You have an opportunity to have a shot to make a playoff run. Pontotoc in that 3-game stretch, and it really doesn't get any tougher, Mike, than what happens tonight playing against the Ripley Tigers. They have 3 very highly touted football players in Vashawn Pearson, Akeem Lockett, Jimmy Brooks, Patrick, the quarterback. Robertson Punter is really a very fine player. It's going to be a tough challenge for the Warriors tonight.
It really is. We should see a good ball game here tonight, and we're looking forward to be a great night here at Tiger Stadium here in Ripley.
Well, that ought to be entertaining. As we mentioned a few moments ago, Ripley here with one loss, 6-1 overall. And, of course, Pontotoc 7-0. Of course, both teams are no strangers to success, both of them with storied past here in high school football with great traditions. Paul, it ought to be an entertaining football game. Last year, these guys really took it to us. They came to Pontotoc and really laid the wood to us there as they came in with their backs to the wall after facing a big loss to Kossuth. Last year, 38-7, they responded and came in and really laid it to us. And to be quite honest with you, it took the Warriors out of the playoffs last year. So the Warriors definitely know what can happen. One loss, and you can be in a lot of trouble in this division.
Well, one loss tonight, Patrick, could probably actually mean a possibility of not even making the playoffs again for the second straight year. And not only that, Patrick, the playoff implications that you talked about a couple minutes ago are definitely going to be decided here, the fate of both of these schools tonight. If Ripley loses this football game, there's a possibility that their playoff run and chances could be over, because they don't have an opportunity to control their own destiny then, and Pontotoc does. Of course, Pontotoc comes into the game ranked 13th in the state of Mississippi. In the Associated Press poll, I think Ripley is ranked 20th. Maybe Pontotoc is ranked 14th, actually, and Ripley 20th. And so there's implications, Patrick, all around the state. This is probably one of the bigger football games in the Magnolia State tonight.
Well, Mike, the Tigers lost an earlier matchup against Corinth, so they're already down in the division with a loss. Yeah, as Paul mentioned, one more loss, and they probably can pack the bags. This one's over. They win tonight, though. They put themselves in position to really be a factor in this thing, because, of course, Pontotoc still has a matchup pending with Corinth in a couple of weeks there at Corinth. So a big matchup between these two tonight.
Yeah, it really means a whole lot, this game here. It's going to really have a lot to do with what goes on the rest of the season here, but Pontotoc definitely has to take care of business here tonight, and with a win tonight, they definitely could help their own cause.
Well, there's been some great matchups, Paul, between these two teams. I mean, we can look back. You and I have covered a couple through radio and, of course, as well, a couple of other games. There's been some tremendous matchups in the past. Some big stakes in a lot of games. North half championships, of course, decided between these two schools before. So these two are used to playing each other in big games.
Well, Patrick, the two games that come to mind the most to me probably are the North half championship game in '92, Patrick, and also the game in '97, as we're going to get our national anthem at this time.
Stay tuned for Tigers and Warrior action.
The United States flag will be flown at half-staff in compliance with the presidential order to honor the lost crew members of the USS Cole. Singing the anthem tonight is Ripley High School singer Dexter Collier. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
And we welcome you back here as we get really close to the start of this football game, as the Warriors and the Tigers have both begun to make their way to the playing field. Of course, team captains as well, meeting at midfield stripe as we're getting close here, of course, to getting this one underway. And of course, a couple of guys to watch out for, Paul. We'll go ahead and highlight some of these guys. Of course, highlight performers for the Tigers is, of course, their very fine tailback, of course, Bashan Pearson, 6'1", 200-pound back. Paul, we've dealt with him a couple of 3 years now here at Ripley High School against the Warriors, and of course a fine back, and of course very dangerous with the football. Last year he was not much of a factor. I think, Soup, you can remember Paul was not there, but really Pearson was not much of a factor last year. Brooks was the difference maker last year. He ran the football between the tackles at that fullback spot, and of course I thought defensively they really caused a lot of havoc. Of course, the Warriors had a lot of trouble protecting last year, protecting the quarterback, and a good pass rush. Lockett, of course, the big fine defensive end, and Brooks caused a lot of havoc on defense last year when these two met.
Well, it's Friday the 13th, and a lot of things can happen, so we'll just have to stay tuned for some good football. Real quickly, Mike's going to give us our sponsors that are helping make our telecast possible tonight on TV7, TV 34.
We thank all of our fine sponsors. First of all, Tudor Funeral Home in Pontotoc, Jackson Implement Company on 15 there in Pontotoc, Montgomery Drugs. Go by and see Billy Montgomery and all his fine staff there at Montgomery Drugs. First National Bank, JB's Quick Stop, Russell Oil Company, People's Bank, Hangouts Daycare, Ken Nowlin Insurance, OneCall.com, Daffodils Flowers and Finery, Charlie Robinson Cattle Buyers, Springer Discount Mobile Homes in Houston, Pontotoc, and Woodland, Stegall Ford, Classic Exteriors, Hunter's Hollow in Oxford, and CNR Cattle Company.
And we'd like to thank those fine sponsors for allowing us to bring Pontotoc High School football action to you on TV7. Paul, we as the Warriors have made their way onto the playing field, the Tigers will do so very soon to join them as well. And Paul, I'm not sure. I was looking the opposite way, of course, on the coin toss. I thought I saw someone, the official, make the indication of deferment. But Soup, were you watching? I don't know. I couldn't see who's getting the football first. But
I'm not exactly sure who got the coin toss there, but we're very close to action here as the Ripley Tigers enter the playing field.
Someone deferred, is all I know. I'm not sure because I saw the official make that indication. But Paul, as you mentioned a few moments ago, last year, of course, Brooks was the difference, we thought, for Ripley. The Warriors will definitely have to somehow match the speed of Pearson. They got to do a good job of containing him, keeping him out inside the tackles, because if he gets the corner, he's a guy that can take it to the house anytime he touches the ball.
Well, you got to keep him in the tackle box, Patrick. You always have an opportunity to keep him kind of hemmed up if you can keep him running the football between the tackles and let your defensive linemen and linebackers kind of slow him down until help arrives. But it's going to be a lot of fun to get that. Like you said, Patrick, 2 years ago, the Brooks young man was the guy that gave us a lot of problems as well. As Bill, as you get real quickly an opportunity to look over close to the band over there, look at the sign. It says Friday the 13th. I don't know if you're able to pick it up. Unlucky. Let's just hope that's what's going to be the case for the Ripley Tigers here tonight.
Guys, if people are standing, and so am I. I don't think this sitting is going to work right now, so I guess we'll have to do what we were talking about not trying to do. Ripley will get the football first, as Pearson will stand right along his own 9-yard line. Bass will kick off for the Warriors, and Ripley will get the football first, as, of course, the little mimic from Pearson back here mimicking the Warrior band. I saw quite a bit of that during the pregame from the Tiger players.
Yeah, they've been doing that ever since they broke onto the playing field here, and we're here waiting the kickoff right now by Bass as he's coming forward on the ball as we speak.
And Bass will step forward, and this time he will kick it, and it will be Pearson at his own 10. Sets the return, middle return. He looks over the 20, finds a seam, and he's over the 35 up to the 37. And the Tigers will set up shot first and 10. I think that for the Warriors, it appeared to be Rob Pickett making the tackle on special teams for the Warriors. Ripley will set up shot first and 10 from their own 37-yard line.
And this is going to be the matchup that I've looked forward to all night long. Is going to be the Warrior defensive football team against this high-powered offensive squad from Ripley. Should be the matchup of the game if the Warriors are to be victorious tonight. need to be successful defensively.
Robertson will set an eye in the backfield behind him as he will give it to Pearson on a delay. He's over the 40 up to about the 42. I believe Kevin Westmoreland for Pontotoc, or Kevin Westbrook's 5 yards on the play will bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers.
Well, good job that time on 1st down, getting 1st down yardage that time by Pearson. Patrick, you said last year he didn't play particularly well against Pontotoc and at Pontotoc. Young man, I'm sure would love to come out with a vengeance tonight and play well in his senior campaign.
Eye again in the backfield, rolling to his right. Robertson under heavy duress, going to elude a couple of guys. A flag laying on the middle of the field, and passes knocked away on a good job of recovering on the football by Brian Rucker. The receiver was open momentarily, but he had to wait for the football to get to him, and Rucker did a good job of closing and knocking it away, Mike.
Yeah, he really did. Rucker's got a lot of speed, and definitely needs to keep the receiver in check. He was able to recover that time because of the rush there by Logan, but illegal procedure was a call on the field.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to cost the Tigers 5 on the illegal procedure violation, and it'll be 2nd down all over, 2nd down at 10. Very impressive play by Rucker, Paul.
Well, a good job that time, Patrick. As a defensive back, you're taught to get depth, and that time Rucker did a good job of just getting depth in the secondary and making the play on the football. And, of course, the holding penalty, the illegal procedure penalty marks him 5 yards back as well.
Tate is a near side receiver. In the slot will be Jordan as he'll give it to Pearson. Pearson slashing over the 40 up to about the 41. Will be a gain of about 3. Will bring up 3rd down, 7 yards to go for the 1st down. And the Tigers will be facing a possession play, the first possession play of this football game.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, who was the young man that made the hit on the play? It was
that was Dietrich Clark, 22. He ran into a brick wall all of a sudden there, and Clark stopped him dead in his tracks.
3rd down, we'll call it 6. As a near side receiver will be Hatch. An eye in the backfield as they'll run another delay. It's going to be Pearson sliding along the 45 to the 46. Going to be shy of the 1st down. Good stand by the Warriors defensively on this initial possession defensively.
Well, a good job that time defensively, Patrick. A good series for the Warriors to get off to a nice start. Defensively played well on the first drive, and a possession play here for the Tigers. And Robertson, I think, will stay in the football game. There's always an opportunity, you're sure, with a quarterback punter type combination with Robertson in the game. You never know what that young man might do with the football.
Well, the fine punting Brandon Robertson, of course, we know he can flat put the foot to the football. Will kick the football, and of course Ron Winter will set back inside the 10. And a good driving punt by Robertson. Winter will take it at his own 10. Not anywhere to go. Now he eludes a tackler, gets back to the 10. The ball popped free momentarily, but I think he alertly picked it right back up. Well, boy, that shows you what an effective punter can do for you. Put him in a long way to go. 1st and 10 for the Warriors from right along the own 13-yard line. And of course, possession of the football for the Warriors, but of course, field possession for a plus for Ripley right here, Mike.
Yeah, that was a real great punt there. Most people in high school sports overlook the kicking game, but it can definitely be an effective part of the game in a big game situation like it is here tonight in Ripley.
Jason McBride will have his crew in for that point. It'll be Big Ellis Scott up to along the 20-yard line. Paul Ellis, good job and a good pickup on 1st down.
Well, you know, Patrick, Ellis did a good job, Patrick, that time finding a positive yardage on 1st down. Reminds me of the game that we played here 2 years ago. Tremaine Bryson was a young man that really had a good football game that night, Mike. Not sure if you remember the game, but the young man played very well.
Yeah, that was a great breakout game for Tremaine Bryson a couple years ago here at Ripley, and Pontotoc needs to keep this drive going here.
2nd down and 7. They'll give to the tailback up to about the 20 to the 21-yard line on the carry for the Warriors. I believe it was at James White on the, actually, excuse me, guys, I don't know who carried the football, but gain of a couple will bring up 2nd down and 2 yards to go, and a possession play, actually 3rd down and a yard to go for the 1st down for the Warriors. First possession play of this football game for the Warriors, as they'll have their short yardage situation intact, everyone in tight. Ellis got the lone back in the backfield. He'll get the carry and doesn't need much. I don't know if he got the 1st down. He didn't need a lot. Really bottled up along the line of scrimmage, and I don't know if he got it, Paul.
No, it looks like he's going to be short, Patrick. Good penetration that time by the defensive line from Ripley. And it looked like the man, Patrick, that you would expect to make the play. Lockett was the young man that stacked everything up in there and made a good defensive stop.
4th down and less than a yard to go, and the Warriors have got everyone in, so they're either going to go for it or try to just draw them off sides. But again, they have everyone in tight. Big play here early in the game. Coach Robbins maybe gambling a little bit. I think they're just trying to draw them off sides as McBride goes to that long, hard snap count. Now calls a timeout. Ripley discipline on defense, and the Warriors burn a timeout.
Yeah, great job by Ripley of keeping everything intact there, and Warriors call a timeout.
And we have timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. We'll return after these messages. Fourth down, less than a yard to go, and the Warriors have brought in Braden Bishop to punt the football away as Ripley will check around the midfield stripe. It was going to be Clinton Jordan, as Braden will step forward and he puts the boot to it pretty good, as it's going to get a good carry as Jordan will take it at his own 38-yard line. Now heads upfield, looking for a seam to run through. He's going to run up to about the 45 to the 47. Nice job of punting the football right there, Paul, by Braden Bishop. Doing a good job of getting the Warriors out of a little bit of a hole.
Well, we talked about it a couple of minutes ago. Mike did, talking about how reversing field position would be big in the football game by the punters. And, of course, that time Bishop did a good job. Patrick, the young man that returns punts for Ripley is the same type of return specialist as Winter is. I talked to a couple of people from Ripley here today. Talked about he's a good possession type receiver as well as a very good punt returner. So the Warriors will have to be wary of that all night long.
Going to be a rare carry to the fullback, Clinton Thomas, over midfield down to about the 48. As Rob Pickett will drop in right around that spot, but not before he picks up 5 on the play. We'll bring up 2nd down, 5 yards to go, and a rare carry for the fullback, and taking advantage of it is Mr. Thomas.
Well, he picked up 5 yards on the play. Good job that time by the forward wall on the interior line that time from Ripley, opened up a little bit of avenues and holes for him to run the football in between, and that time the young man did a pretty good job of running the football. 2nd down, 5 yards to go again. Toss sweep to the left. It's going to be Pearson trying to get the corner, eludes a guy, gets over the 40, still running over the 40 down along the 37-yard line, and picking up a first down, the first down of the football game. It's registered by the Tigers, and they'll move the chains. Well, unfortunately, that time Patrick Rob Pickett had a chance to knock him off his feet on a little toss sweep somewhere around the line of scrimmage and was unable to do so. And unfortunately for the Warriors, it cost them probably about 15 yards as the fine tailback Pearson did a good job of getting in the secondary and picking up very nice yardage after contact.
Boy, showed some incredible leg strength there, Mike, keeping those legs moving forward and breaking some tackles.
Yeah, the Warrior defense is definitely not going to be able to arm tackle tonight. They're going to have to lock up and bring the runners to the ground. We have a shaken up Warrior over here on the near sideline here. I'm not exactly sure who it was that got injured, but the training staff from Pontotoc has come across to take a look at this.
And of course, to see the Warrior players here huddled up, saying a little prayer for his behalf, as of course unable to pick up who that young man was. Of course, we're obscured by the Ripley players here in front of us. Our vision is, so we're not quite able to pick up who that injured party is for the Warriors, Paul. But hopefully the young man will be okay. Hopefully it's not anything real serious here, but a lot of concern on that field right now. We got timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. We'll return after these messages. Appear to be Jeffrey Hall, Paul, able to walk off the field on his own power. Hopefully a good sign for that young man.
Well, we can only hope it's nothing that's real serious, and it looked like it was going to be a situation when he walked off the field under his own power that he was going to be okay. So that's good news for that young man.
Single receivers left and right again. Thomas, the fullback, plunges inside the 30 up to about the 30-yard line. Rob Pickett with a nice open field tackle. Paul, that young man has got a nose for finding the football.
Well, he does, and he's extremely strong, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of those young men that works in the weight room, and he's a young man that's on that powerlifting team from the Warriors that always excels, Mike, if I'm not mistaken. The young man is just extremely strong.
That is true. He does have a nose for the football and a real hard-working young man with a nice tackle there.
2nd down and 6 yards to go for the Tigers. Again, it'll be Thomas, and again a good hole over the 25, and still running along the 24-yard line and very, very close to a first down. Paul, they're doing a little dive play to the fullback and finding some success with it early.
Well, when you have an opportunity to exploit a defensive line, Patrick, you can when you have a running back on the caliber of Pearson, because you have to respect that play to an extent. But by the same token, you have to respect what Pearson's going to do, and it opens up some holes for that young man to run the football.
Obviously, you're exactly right, Paul. There's going to have to be the Warriors going to have to really do a good job on the defensive front to negate that play here if they're going to be successful in this football game. Again, they give it to him again, this time over the 25 down to the 23, and a first down for Thomas, as he's going to be stopped and dropped right there at that spot. Looked like for the Warriors defensively was Kendall Crum making the play, but not before he earns a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 Ripley from the Warrior 23-yard line.
Well, at that time, Patrick, they did the same thing that they have been doing. So giving the football on the dive play to Thomas, to the fullback. Don't be surprised right here if Mr. Pearson gets his hands on the football.
First down and 10 for Ripley from the Warrior 23-yard line, and eye in the backfield. It'll be Pearson on the delay off left tackle. Big hole inside the 10, inside the 5, down to along the 3. And it'll be first down and goal to go for the Tigers after the nice 20-yard run ripped off by Pearson.
Well, he did a good job, Patrick, once he got in the secondary. And again, Patrick, he was one-on-one on the defensive back for the Warriors, Patrick, and you have to try to make a play, and it's awfully hard to make a play on a player the caliber of Pearson. And that time Pearson won the battle. They're 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. First and goal to go
from the 3-yard line as they bring in of course, their big power package. I see Brooks has came in here, Paul, at tight end now, along with Lockett in the backfield and full house backfield, and Pearson really met right there at the line of scrimmage and dropped right along the 3-yard line.
And Mike, if I'm not mistaken, that was big Ellis Scott that came up with the tackle, and I mean, he really met him in the hole, and it met him with some authority.
I doubt he really runs straight up like he did that time very many times, going into the middle with Ellis Scott coming at him anymore tonight. That might have gotten his attention there, and but nevertheless, it is 2nd and goal down close on about the 3-yard line.
An eye again set in the backfield behind Robertson. Tall sweep to the right, and Pearson plunges inside around the 1-yard line. Looked like Pickett did a good job of getting a piece of him in the backfield, got good penetration, and slowed him up. It'll be 3rd down, goal to go from around the 2-yard line, and the Warriors right here need to back their ears and come after him, Paul.
Well, big play defensively here for the Warriors, Patrick. As you're probably astute in saying this could be a type of possession that could be a landmark type possession in the football game.
3rd down and goal to go from the 2-yard line as Robertson's in a lot of trouble and dropped right along the 11-yard line. Looked like getting back there was James White. I believe Braden Bishop, though, was an individual got the initial penetration, Paul, and did a good job. And, of course, he got help from James White as they drop him right along the 11-yard line.
Not sure if it was White or Pickett. It may have been Pickett. I'm not sure. Was it Pickett, Mike, that got back there? I couldn't tell.
It was James White back there in the backfield. He came in the goal line stand there as an extra linebacker and took out a defensive back, and he was the one back there causing the havoc right there.
As Luciano Perez will come in to kick the field goal for the Tigers. It will be a 28-yard attempt. The kick is on its way. It's got the distance, and it's good. 28-yard field goal by Perez as the Tigers have drawn first blood, but a good job by that Warrior defense. 3 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Ripley 3, Pontotoc nothing. And Ripley leading 3-0 as it will be Big Brooks kicking it off. It's going to be for the Warriors, like Ellis Scott scoops it up around the 30-yard line, but we're going to have to probably kick this one over. Paul, I think that Ripley might have jumped off sides. We'll have to wait and see from the indication from the officials.
Well, a good job, Patrick, by the Warriors defensively with the goal line stand, keeping them out of the end zone. That could be a big play in this football game. Unfortunately, I hate that on the kickoff because the Warriors would have had awfully good field position. And I like Big Ellis picking the football up on one bounce and motoring upfield with a little bit of real estate in front of him. Somebody might have to make a tackle on him. He might be hard to bring down.
Jimmy Brooks will now back it up 5, and of course that's going to cost him 5 yards in penalty yardage, and the Warriors should generate some better field position again, of course, after the penalty. So he'll step forward from the 35 and kick again.
Good chance for Ron Winter here to get a good return here if he can get his hands on this ball here.
And it'll be Winter who'll get it at the 20-yard line. The Warriors set up the sideline. The return here is Winter still over the 35 up to about the 36-yard line. This time the Warriors have a little better field position as they'll set up shop 1st and 10 from their own 36.
Well, I mean, good job that time by Winter of getting the football in good field position for the Warriors. I thought that time, I looked that time and watched the kickoff team. It looked like the same guy that jumped off sides jumped off again, Mike, and they didn't call it. I don't know if you saw it as well.
You're exactly right. He did jump a little quick, but no call that time.
1st and 10 Warriors from right along the 36-yard line as McBride will have Ellis Scott, the lone back in the backfield behind him. Had two wings, both left and right, as Winter will come in motion from the left. As it'll be Rucker getting the football over the 35, trying to get the corner. Does so over the 40 up to about the 45-yard line.
That's a late
and
hit.
Man, a lot of activity on that sideline. Of course, no late hit, whistle, but I tell you what, good pickup on 1st down by Rucker.
Well, a good job that time by Rucker running, getting on the perimeter and making something happen. And of course, we're a long way away from the sideline here. So, Mike, I could be wrong, but that definitely looked like there could have been some extracurricular activities on the sideline as well.
Yeah, it really did. It looked like he stepped out of bounds about 2 yards before the last hit that brought him to the earth there, but no call.
Interesting formation right here for the Warriors. They give it to James White, a little sweep to the left. White's over midfield inside the 46-yard line. Again, a good pickup of 6 yards on 1st down. We'll bring up 2nd down and 4 yards to go.
Well, they had White, and I guess what you would almost call an H-back position somewhat that time, and just a really quick toss sweep to the left. Basically almost like a little forward, well, it wasn't actually a forward lateral, but just a quick little pitch to him, and the young man did a good job of finding running room into the Ripley side of the field, and the Warriors pick up a 1st down, first down of the football game.
Again, White is alone back in the backfield. Same play as this time he tries to get the 45 and will do so around that point. Will be a short gain, maybe a gain of 2 on the play. We'll bring up 3rd down and a possession play, 3rd down, and we'll call it 2 yards to go for the 1st down.
Yeah, Pontotoc started that little set there that they've run the last 2 plays there last week. A little quick hitter, and that time Ripley defense snuffed it out and was able to stop him after a very short gain, bringing up a 3rd down situation.
3rd down, and we'll call it 3. There's a gain of 1. Ellis Scott, the lone back in the backfield behind McBride. As now coming in motion will be Ruckers. They fake it to him. It's McBride, rolls to the right.
Wide open.
Looks upfield, and his receiver in the middle of the field wide open. But Paul it was behind him as Barry Logan was running free right along the 30-yard line, Paul, but he threw it behind him.
Well, he had Logan wide open, Patrick, around the 35-yard line. There was nobody within 10 yards of him. And unfortunately, the ball was just thrown behind him, and that might be one that you'd like to have back if you're Mr. McBride, but unfortunately not able to do so. Big play right here for the Warriors, Patrick. Need to punt the football well again here with Bishop. Pin them back and let your defense play again.
Braden Bishop will check into the football game to punt it away as he stands right along the Warrior 45-yard line. Jordan again standing right along the 20 as Bishop steps forward, and this time a low line drive, but again gets pretty good foot in the football. Jordan takes it around his own 9-yard line, looking to get the sideline, and gets it up to about the 23-yard line and is dropped at that point as it'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Tigers from their own 23-yard line, leading 3-0 with 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter of play.
Well, you have to like it if you're a Warrior fan somewhat. You're kind of withstanding some punches and hanging right around, Patrick. Only down 3-0. Could be quite considerably more than that, Mike. But fortunately for the Warriors, it's only 3-0.
You're exactly right. A great goal line stand last time by the Warriors. Got them pinned back on about the 23-yard line to start this possession.
And it'll be Pearson off right tackle, looking for a lane to run through over the 25 along the 27-yard line, a gain of about 5. And we'll bring up 2nd down, 5 yards to go, actually a gain of about 4. So it'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd down, 6 yards to go for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was Ellis Scott there making another stop for the Warriors after about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Well, a guy like this, Paul, a back like this is going to get his yards. You just got to contain him and keep him from making the big play. Tall sweep to the left. It's going to be, again, Pearson taking over the 30 and over the 35 up to about the 39-yard line and picking up a 1st down. And another 1st down registered by the Tigers at right along the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 from that point.
Well, a good job that time of Pearson finding an alley to run through on the little tall sweep and picking up good yardage, Patrick. And Walker, the freshman defensive back from Pontotoc, did a good job of standing in there and making the tackle as well.
First down and 10 yards to go. The line to make for the first down is right at midfield, so the line of scrimmage is at the 40. An eye in the backfield behind Robertson again. And he's going to give it to Thomas, the fullback. He's bottled up right along that point, dropped. As again, it's our guy Pickett making the stop defensively right along the 41-yard line. Probably will bring to an end the first quarter of play. We've played through one, and the Tigers lead 3-0 as we get ready to begin the second quarter of play.
That is the end of the first quarter. We just scored the Tigers scored
Robertson as he'll drop straight back to throw, looks upfield, throws the pass on the fly pattern to his receiver who's open, and Jordan had a step on the DB, Paul, but he let that one get through his hands, incomplete. Pretty well thrown football right there, Mike.
Yeah, it really was. Walker, this freshman defensive back with Hall getting hurt, is really getting tested here, getting into a real pressure situation here tonight at Ripley in the first real action he's really seen all year to amount to anything.
Excellent point.
And you're exactly right. And of course, Jordan is a young man, Patrick, that they talked about. I talked to some Ripley people that kind of reminds you of Ryan Winter for us, and he's a young man that's very, very talented and is a senior. So I'm sure they'll want to exploit that situation. I'm sure the Ripley coaches are probably focus on that particular player as well.
As they run a little reverse, it's going to be Thomas Jordan trying to get the corner, not going to be able to do so as he's hit around the 46-yard line. Good job of lateral pursuit defensively by the Warriors and stringing that one out. And it'll be fourth down, and the Tigers are going to be forced to punt. Big stop defensively for the Warriors, Mike.
Yeah, that was Dietrich Clark again with another good hit. And bringing up about a 4th and 5 situation, and we'll get to see Mr. Robertson again with a leg here. Ron Winter back deep awaiting the punt.
Could it be possible that this guy might hit one off the side of his foot? Boy, he's awfully effective. You know, we saw him during pre-games and heard a lot of talk about how good he could punt the football. And again, he hits a pretty good one. This one kind of knuckles a little bit on him, but Winter fumbles the football momentarily. And now we'll have to wait and see who picks it up. I think the Warriors, fortunately, may have gotten it back. That was a hard football to catch because it was knuckling, Paul. Ron had a hard time of gathering that one in, alertly was able to pounce right back on it.
And that's the one thing that you worry about with a punter that's a weapon like Robertson. He as a young man, Patrick, that's so good at what he does. I'm sure a lot of these returners don't face someone as good as him every week in and week out. And when you face him, you really have to be on your A game if you're a returner, because you're going to get some pressure because the ball's going to have some hang time. And you're going to get hit if you're not ready to make the play. And that time Winter did a good job of getting back on the football.
Again, the Warriors have pretty tough field position. 1st and 10 along their own 17-yard line as they'll give it to Rucker. And Rucker finds real near the 20-yard line. Actually, it's not going to be Rucker. Yeah, it's actually Rucker up to real near the 20-yard line. Will be a gain of 3. We'll bring up 2nd down and 7 yards to go. A little misdirection that the Warriors show again, Mike.
Yeah, Rucker had a closed-up gap there to begin with, and after he broke the line of scrimmage, one man tripped him up. He had a few more yards ahead of him if he could have broke that initial tackle.
2nd down, 7 yards to go for McBride, as McBride will have his team in motion from right along the 20. Scott again alone back in the backfield behind him. As Rucker comes in motion again, as McBride rolls to his right, now looks upfield, sets the screen up for Rucker. Rucker's in a lot of trouble and dropped right along the 13-yard line. And coming up out of the secondary to make the play defensively was Jonathan Hatch, the strong safety.
Well, Jonathan Hatch, Patrick, a 6'1", 184-pound junior defensive back that time, just really did a super job from his strong safety position of making a play on the football, Patrick. And I don't know exactly how big of a loss that was, but it was a big loss.
3rd down and 13, so it was a loss of 5 and a possession play for the Warriors. As McBride and crew will have it from that point, is going in motion from left to right will be Winter. McBride drops straight back as he sets up the middle screen, and it's going to be McBride. Actually going to be for the Warriors. It looks like Bishop, and Bishop maybe to the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple on the play, but no gain relatively at all on the play. Will bring up 4th down, and the Warriors going to be forced to punt.
Well, a good job at that time, Patrick, of diagnosing the screen that time by the Ripley linebackers, and Winter just wasn't able to find any avenues at all to run the football after he made the catch. And did a good job, actually, quite frankly, of just hanging on to the football and not turning it over and coughing it up and giving the Warriors an opportunity to punt the football.
and Braden Bishop will drop back to punt the football away. And Jordan standing right along his own 40-yard line. A little bit of a high snap. And now we got a flag, and I don't know if the Warriors maybe moved early or Paul maybe going to be guilty of a little bit of too much time here. Legal procedure against the Warriors going to cost them 5. And boy, this important field position, again, being set up by the punter, doing a good job of taking field position away from the Warriors, Paul, and again, putting the Warriors in a hole offensively, and of course now the Warriors punting from deep in their own territory.
And this is where you have to watch a young man like Jordan, Patrick, when you have to really max protect when you're deep in your own territory. So there's always an opportunity for the young man to have an opportunity for a good return.
High snap. Bishop does a good job of just gathering it in as Jordan goes over the 30 and gets around the 29-yard line, but an excellent field position. I think I see a flag lying right along the 20-yard line, and hopefully this one will be against the Tigers and negate some field position.
It really would help the Warriors out here. Ripley defense has done a great job here in the early stages of the second quarter here with a great defensive stand, and referees trying to decide what the penalty is right now.
Well, I see the Warrior.
I'm sorry, Patty, go ahead.
I see the Warrior players pointing the other way, so we'll have to sort this one out. I heard the indication is going to be personal foul, Paul. Do you see who the guilty party was?
No, I wasn't able to see who it was, Patrick, but I think it was probably somewhere after the ball was punted. I think maybe there was some extracurricular activities on this side of the football field. It really had nothing to do with the play, but I think that was probably going to be the call. Unfortunately for the Warriors, Patrick, it'll back Ripley up about 10, and it'll put them at the Warrior 41-yard line. So actually the penalty that time, the beneficiary that time for the Warriors.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Warrior 42-yard line. Still excellent field position for the Tigers, Paul, as they have it on the Warriors side of the field again.
Well, I mean, of course, your defense can only play so well so long, so going to have to find a way, Patrick, maybe get a turnover or something to make them surrender this field position.
Brooks is now the fullback in the backfield. Tall sweep to the left. Pearson looks over the 40. He's going to be bottled up and dropped. Good job defensively by the Warriors across that front. It looked like Kevin Westmoreland came in, and Kevin Westbrooks came in to make the stop defensively, and a good job by that Warrior defensive front.
Well, again, Patrick, that time the Warriors doing a good job of lateral pursuit along the line of scrimmage and spilling the ball carrier for a minimal pickup on the play. And anytime you can keep Pearson in check, that's an accomplishment on its own. The young man is just really a good football player. 2nd and 9. It's going to be Pearson again off right tackle looking for a hole. He's over the 30. It's a foot race inside the 20. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, and a touchdown by Pearson. Paul, that was just a little off tackle play here to the right side. And they successfully do it for a 41-yard run and a touchdown for the Tigers. Well, that time Pearson just did a good job, Patrick, once he got in the open field, and he's already catch. You're not going to catch that young man once he gets a step on you. So that's something you have to do. You worry about that all game long with that young man because he is just so fast. Mikey also showing some awfully good balance right there, just tight roping the sideline there toward the end of the run.
He really did. Ron Winter was our only real chance to make the tackle, and he just was unable to do it.
Perez checks in again and kicks the extra point through. 8:39 remaining here in the first half of play. Ripley 10, Pontotoc nothing. And we return as now we've got again movement across this front, and now the officials will throw the flag, and it looks like that the Tiger is going to be guilty again of an illegal procedure. Warriors really could use a big play right here. Wrestle some of this momentum away right now, Mike.
Yeah, they really need something big right here. A lot of confusion on the field right now as to the back judge signaled for the kicker to come forward, and no one else saw it, and they called a penalty once again on Ripley's kicking team.
Well, that's going to cost them 5, and again, of course, Brooks will tee it up at the 35-yard line with the Tigers leading 10-0 with 8.5 minutes remaining here in the first half of play. Paul, the Warriors really need to get something going offensively. Need to get back in this football game.
Going to have to find something that works, Patrick, offensively. So far, they've been a little bit of help moving the football here in the first half.
And Brooks will step forward, and it's going to be Winter. Winter will have it on his 15-yard line as he looks for a middle return, gets the sideline, gets up to about the 35-yard line, up to actually around the 33-yard line. And actually, we'll call it the 35. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Warriors from that point. The Warriors are going to have to find something offensively that works, Mike. Going to have to find a way to get the ball in somebody's hands that can make a play. And quite frankly, they may have an awfully hard time doing it running the football because Ripley seems to have a little bit of an edge on the defensive line. Patrick and Mike, they're really doing a good job of knocking us off our stride defensively right now.
Yeah, Warrior offense is really out of sync right now, and Ripley's doing a great job on defense of containing the run.
1st down and 10 as the Warriors fumble the football in the backfield. It's loose, and I think the Tigers have gotten it. Looked like they were just going to run an option play or a belly series, Paul, and Paul looked like just a mishandled exchange between the quarterback and the back, and it's going to be a costly one for the Warriors.
Well, unfortunately for Pontotoc, this football game has been played entirely on the wrong side of the football field, and that's been the key to the game so far. And unfortunately, you can't put your defense in these positions all night long and expect to have an opportunity to win. The Warriors desperately need to make some type of defensive stop right here to get the football back, and at least if you can't hold them to any points, at least hold them to a field goal opportunity.
Again, 1st and 10, Ripley from the Warrior 29-yard line as Robertson rolls to his right, looks upfield. Pass intended for Cross, his tight end, is incomplete right along the 20-yard line. A little bit overthrown and incomplete. We'll bring up 2nd down at 10 yards to go.
Pretty good coverage that time by Ron Winter, as Ron did a pretty good job of closing on the football. And, you know, the ball was a little bit overthrown, but he was there just in case. And if the young man would have got his hands on the football, probably would have been a difficult catch because Winter was closing in on the play and probably would have made it difficult for him to gather it in. But 2nd down and 10, Warriors need a big defensive stop right here.
Again, the eye set behind Robertson in the backfield. Again, of course, McDonald will be the tailback as it's going to be Big Brooks, the fullback. He plunges over the 25 to the 22, but the play is going to be stopped before it really ever begins as the penalty flag is dropped. Most likely an illegal procedure against the Tigers. Indeed, that's going to be what the call is. It's going to cost them 5, and we'll bring up 2nd down and 15 for the Tigers.
Pontotoc needs every opportunity they can get right now to for help here, and via the penalty, they have a 2nd down and 15, and Warrior defense needs to rise right here and make a big stop.
And we have a timeout on the field called by Ripley, and we'll just take it with them. We'll return after these messages. 2nd down, 15 yards to go for Robertson and crew. Jordan will come in motion from left to right. He's going to give it to Pearson off right tackle, trying to get the corner. He goes inside the 35 along the 30-yard line. Paul just did a good job of just picking his way and finding something that was not really there.
Well, you can just tell, Patrick, that time Elvin Chandler was a young man that was pursuing him along the line of scrimmage. And the one thing that Pearson does, Mike, is he makes your defensive linemen be disciplined. They're always worried that he can bust it because you can tell by watching them, they're worried that he's going to take it the distance. So you have to be disciplined with him.
Yeah, you really do. Discipline's a big part of this defense here tonight for the Warriors, and they kept him in check that time. Chandler went off the field a little bit shaken up on the play. He's been kind of hurt all year. Coaches bragged on him early in the year that he was going to be a player, but injuries kept him off the field most of the year.
Robertson rolls to his right. He's got his receiver wide open. Jordan just walks into the end zone. And the Tigers have moved ahead 16-0 with 7 minutes and 31 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Well, that time we just came with a little bootleg action, waggle, whatever you want to call it, Patrick, as he rolled to the left and did a good job. Patrick, I'll be honest with you, that time it almost looked like the defensive backs for Pontotoc, there were more people to cover than they actually could. And it looked like that it was a well-designed play that time by Coach Allen and his staff, and they found the end zone. The Warriors have the work cut out for them. Patrick down 16-0.
And Perez in to attempt the extra point. His kick is on its way and good. 7:31 remaining here in the first half. Ripley 17, Pontotoc nothing. And Mike, you're going to go down this list of sponsors here for us.
We thank all our fine sponsors for tonight's game between the Pontotoc Warriors and Ripley Tigers. First of all, Tudor Funeral Home in Pontotoc, a proud sponsor of Warrior football. Jackson Implement Company on 15 in Pontotoc. Montgomery Drugs, First National Bank, Buddy Montgomery and crew taking care of all your financial needs. JB's Quick Stop, Russell Oil Company, Don Russell and staff. People's Bank, Hangouts Daycare, Ken Nowlin Insurance, OneCall.com. Back to live action here at Tiger Stadium.
And of course, the Ripley fans here in front of us alive, and of course, very much so alive here, Paul, as they've got a lot of emotion here in this crowd right now. And boy, it's a big game, and so far, Ripley has really stepped up and played well in this first half.
Well, they've totally dominated the football game, Patrick, and right now their fans are really into it.
And boy, Brooks really gets a foot in this one pretty good. Boots it in the end zone. And the Warriors, again, will not have very good field position. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Well, that's been the Achilles heel right now for Pontotoc this entire first half, as they haven't had an opportunity to have very good field position. It's really played a tough role in what's happened here in the football game, Mike.
It really has. Pontotoc's had their back against the wall most of the game so far, and they definitely need something positive here in this last 7 minutes and 31 seconds of the first half to get some momentum back in the swing of Pontotoc's way.
1st and 10 for the Warriors from the 20, and a timeout on the field. Now the flags come in. I think the Warriors are going to get the timeout before the flag is thrown by the line judge. We'll have to wait and see, though, well, from the official indication on the field.
It looked like to me that time Winter was the young man that actually called the timeout, and you know that's kind of rare. Usually, Mike, you see a quarterback actually call the timeout. That time Winter was the young man that called the timeout.
Now the officials call illegal participation against the Warriors, and the Warriors will get to keep their timeout, Paul, but unfortunately lose some penalty yardage.
Well, unfortunately, Patrick, that the illegal participation will always outride the timeout, and they'll give that call to the not always, Patrick, as the Warriors were guilty of the infraction. That backs them up 5 more.
Yeah, Pontotoc broke huddle with 12 men.
1st down and 15 yards to go, as they'll have Dedrick Clark as the tailback. They're going to give it to the up man for the Warriors, like it's going to be on the carry, Ellis Scott. And Scott rumbles over the 20 up to about the 21-yard line. A gain of 6 will bring up 2nd down, 9 yards to go for the Warriors.
Well, the Warriors picked up 4 on the play, and really and truly they just need to keep Ripley off the field. And if there was ever something that would be big for the Warriors, it would be to go down and get points and move the football and take some time off the clock and keep this high-powered offense from Ripley off the field.
As McBride just hides the football real well, does a good job throwing upfield a bit to Winter, and Winter wrestling with the football around the 42-yard line. Pass is incomplete. Good little play-action pass right there. Good job of disguising the football by McBride, but the pass incomplete for the Warriors.
I tell you what, McBride really showed a pretty good arm that time, threw the football a long way. Unfortunately, Winter wasn't able to make the catch, but McBride showed a really nice arm that time. We'll bring up a 3rd down, a possession play for the Warriors. And if they ever could get a 1st down, this would be a big time to have one right here, Mike.
It really would. Pontotoc definitely needs a big play here. They haven't got a big play all night, but this would be a great time to see one right now.
3rd and 10 from the 20 as they give it to Winter. Looks like he's trying to throw out of this formation.
Intercepted.
And this pass is going to be intercepted. Around the 35, the 30, looking for a seam as the cornerback for Ripley. Looks like it's going to be Luster. Luster going to run inside the 25 to the 22, and again, the whole game is continuing to be played on the Warriors side of the field, Mike.
It really has. Great job there by Ripley of staying in their coverage on the reverse pass there by Ron Winter, and no one was open downfield, and Pontotoc never had a chance there.
You guys, what I think the key is right here is when you're Pontotoc, the type of scheme that they like to play. When you get behind 17-0, you have to do things like that, and I think that's probably not playing in Coach Robbins and in his staff's best interest.
And that's going to be McDonald again. It's actually not McDonald, but Pearson.
Rico's gone, I think.
Rico's
he's at Delta State now, if I'm not mistaken. So,
but I had the right team still because he was here.
I think he wore number 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Guys, I'm pretty sure I've already said that twice in this game. I think I did that earlier as well. I think I called him McDonald a few moments ago, but Pearson.
Well, Rico was a very good football player as well as Vashon. So there's no injustice in saying that to that young man.
Well, it's a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers. It's going to be Brooks, a big fullback, and he's going to plunge over the 20 down to along the 17-yard line. And the Warriors bottle him up at that point. Will bring up 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Actually, 3rd down and 4 yards to go for Ripley.
Well, they need to hold them here keep them to at least, like we said a couple minutes ago, to a field goal opportunity or to no points right here again, Mike, because they've had 2 turnovers here on their side of the field that have been very, very costly.
Yeah, it would be a great time for a Warrior turnover right here. Dietrich Clark and Ellis Scott in on the last tackle. It would be big if one of them here could cause something big to happen.
Again, they're going to give it to Pearson, trying to swing the left side. And again, this time, James White doing a good job to make the stop, and the flag comes in here late as the official throws one here at the end of the play.
I think it's going to be a dead ball personal foul against the Warriors, and I think this is going to give Ripley an easy first down, Patrick, if I'm not mistaken.
Boy, you hate to see that if that's the case. We'll have to wait and see what happened here, but the officials talking about it right at the point of the tackle, and you hope that the Warriors just didn't give them a big break.
Pontotoc really doesn't need to shoot herself in the foot. Man, face mask is a call.
Indeed, a face mask whistled against the Warriors, and it's going to cost them some penalty yardage and probably an automatic first down for the Tigers.
I think it's going to be like 3rd and 1, Patrick, because I believe it's a 5-yard variety, so it will not give them the first down. They'll be, I think, in a 3rd down and 1 play right here, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, 3rd down, less than a yard to go for the first down. And we've got timeout, looks like for measurement. Looks like the officials have called timeout on the field, and we'll have to sort out and see if they're just going to measure and see how far down in distance is from this first down.
Couldn't tell who grabbed the mask that time. I wasn't really watching that part of the play. I thought it was probably, some type of extracurricular activity at the end of the play. But unfortunately for Pontotoc, it still hurts. It looked like really and truly that time, guys, that even though it was a face mask penalty, that really it probably had nothing to do with the play at all. Indeed, they stretched the chains, and of course, just shy of the first down. So it will be 3rd down and less than a yard to go for the first down for the Tigers, and basically 2 chances to make this first down.
That is correct. It'll give them 2 chances here. 5 minutes, 15 seconds remaining here in the first half of play, and our Warrior defense needs to come up with something big, if any way possible here.
Nice set in the backfield behind Robertson, as he's going to give it to Pearson, easily finding the first down. Right along the 10, inside the 10-yard line. Actually, right along the 10-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go. I'm not sure if he's inside the 10, maybe 1st and goal to go for the Tigers, Paul.
Well, guys, I hate to hit the old panic button, but I'm just going to tell you guys, if Pontotoc goes behind 24-0, I'm going to tell you this football game, for all intents and purposes, is going to be over right here. They need to make some type of stand defensively to find a way to keep Ripley out of the end zone.
Big set of downs right here for the Warriors defensively, as they roll to the right, and Robertson looking upfield. Nice grab inside the 5, right along the 3-yard line, as Cross made the reception. And it's going to be 2nd down and 2 yards to go. They can actually earn a first down without scoring.
Well, just a good job that time. Nice disguise play that time by Robertson as he just rolled to his right, Patrick, and on the bootleg action did a good job of getting the football to the receiver. And they're knocking on the door once again. You said it was a couple times ago that they had basically 2 downs to get 1 inch. Right now, if you want to know the truth of the matter, they may have almost 7 or 8 downs to get 2 yards.
I formation in the backfield for Robertson, as he's going to give it to the fullback, and plunging out and plunging in for the touchdown is going to be Brooks, as Brooks plunges in from 3 yards out, and Ripley has extended its lead to 23-0. 4 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in this first half of play, and Perez will come in to attempt the extra point.
That was a big play right there by the Ripley Tiger offense to take it in with 4 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the first half of play, and it was already stated that right there could be big. 24 points in a game of this type is huge to overcome.
Perez's extra point is on its way and good. 4 minutes, 6 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. Ripley 24, Pontotoc nothing. Up along the 10-yard line is in a lot of trouble, and Paul, the Warriors are starting up in terrible field position once again. As everything going the way of the Tigers right now, nothing going well at all for the Warriors right now, Mike.
Well, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Pontotoc just no momentum at the time. They've kind of been out of sync the whole game, and just really have no positive yardage to amount to anything in this first half of play, and had their backs up against the wall and just nowhere to go, and need something big here for some momentum going into halftime.
Well, the Warriors go with two big backs in the backfield. They got Scott and Diedrich in the backfield. Diedrich is the tailback, as Diedrich Clark will run over the 20 up to along the 20, over the 15, right along the 18-yard line. We'll pick up around 5 or 6 on the play. We'll bring up, second down and 4 yards to go.
Well, let's just give credit where credit's due, guys. I'm telling you, there's no question Ripley has just dominated the first half in this football game. The Warriors have played basically the entire first half on their side of the field, and that's been the one thing that's been the Achilles heel for them so far. And Ripley has really been very, very impressive.
Again, as they'll have the two backs in the backfield, of course, for the Warriors. Second down and 6 yards to go. And it's going to be Ellis Scott. Scott plunging over the 25 up to around the 26-yard line. That the ball popped free. I believe they're going to call it down by contact. Paul, we'll have to wait and see.
I tell you what, probably the most fun thing I've seen tonight was that quick handstand by Diedrich Clark. Did you catch that when he got back off the pile? Man, that is impressive for a guy that is 6'5" to do that from on the bottom of a stack. I don't know if Mike was able to pick that up or not.
Diedrich Clark is some kind of athlete, great leaping ability, and very athletic, and has been big for the Warriors so far this year. And Pontotoc, with a good drive here late in the first half, definitely need a good drive, though, to get some momentum.
McBride rolling to his right. He's got Braden Bishop wide open, and Braden Bishop not able to handle the football over the 45, right along the midfield stripe. Incomplete. Will bring up second down and 10. And boy, you know, Braden would love to have that one back. Paul, Braden usually pretty reliable out there at that tight end spot, but this time unable to hang on to the football.
Usually a young man that's very sure-handed has a nice pair of hands on him. And to Jason's credit, that time he threw the football where it needed to be thrown, right to his player, where he can make a play on the football where nobody else could catch it but his player. And Jason's actually thrown two pretty good balls, both of them that could have been handled. Unfortunately, not having any success with the completion. And it's going to be James White on the carry. James White absolutely nowhere to go. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, if any. We'll bring up third down and 10. And another possession play with just over 3 minutes remaining here in the first half of play. Well, third down and 10, Mike, if I tell you, just to be honest with you, you'd like to win the football game. The most important thing is to win the football game, but right now you need a first down to keep this Ripley football team off the field, because you know they have an opportunity to probably go 31-0 if you give the football back to them.
You're exactly right, Paul. Pontotoc definitely needs the first down if any way possible.
And McBride rolling to his left, looking upfield. He's got Logan here in the just inside Tiger territory out here as he runs a crossing route. Pass is incomplete, and will bring up fourth down, and the Warriors going to be forced to punt the football away.
Well, right now would be a big time for Braden to really step into one, because we need a big punt here to kind of pin them back a little bit and have an opportunity to play some defense and keep them from maybe getting in the end zone again, because I tell you what, I'm sure that's what's on Coach Allen, his staff's mind right now. Probably have an opportunity to get the football in the end zone one more time before the half. Fourth down and some 10 yards to go, and of course Braden Bishop will drop back to punt the football away, as Jordan will get a low line drive. He's going to catch it right at his own 45-yard line on the one hop as he tries to get the corner, and he gets inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. And the Tigers will have excellent field position once again. You guys, I don't know exactly what the time of possession would be in the football game, but I would really like to know how much of this football game has been played on the Pontotoc side of the field. And I'm talking about not necessarily the game being played on. I'm talking about from possession to possession. And you talked about it early, Patrick. I think you have to give a lot of credit to the Robertson, the punter, because he really reversed things early and kind of took Pontotoc out of good field position real quickly in the football game. He may be responsible for this big lead.
And it's going to be, again, for the Tigers, it's going to be the guy that's been pretty active here in the first half, Pearson. And a little toss sweep to the left, maybe gets a couple of 3 yards on the play. Brings up second down and 7 for the Tigers. Guys, just totaling through this, the Warriors have 43 yards of total offense in the first half. Really been inept offensively, and of course really struggling to find any offense at all here in this first half.
That's more than Auburn had Saturday, so that's the only bright point that you can add to that right now.
Little three-step drop is it's going to be a pass completed across, and he's going to run inside the 20, inside the 10, and a touchdown for the Tigers. As on the reception for the Tigers was Britt Cross, the tight end, was hit as soon as the ball was delivered to him. And right now, the Tigers really have things going their way, leading 30-0 with a minute and a half remaining, firmly in control of this football game.
Well, they played well here in the first half, and quite frankly, Patrick, have looked like the football team that most people thought they would be before the season started, and probably the odds-on favorite to win this division. Right now, they're playing very well.
And Perez's extra point is on its way and good. 1:39 remaining here in the first half of play. Ripley 31, Pontotoc nothing. Maybe about the 28. And the Warriors have a pretty good field position for a change. 28-yard line, 1st and 10 or better field position. As I hear the Tigers doing a little chant here in front of us. Of course, one of their players, I guess they call him Moose.
Well, I'll tell you what, they can call him anything they want to right now, up 31-0. So quite frankly, just been a football game here that's just been totally dominated, Patrick, by the Ripley Tigers in the first half. And Coach Robbins and his staff have a lot to work on, quite frankly, at the halftime intermission. Little toss sweep to the right, and Ellis Scott and Ellis Paul just hit off stride as Big Akeem Lockett hits him in the backfield. Ellis maybe got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe picked up a yard on the play. Tell you what, hard to pick up any yards at all when you get hit in the backfield.
It really is. Pontotoc just nothing going so far. Maybe our band will put on a good performance here at halftime and give something good for Pontotoc anyway.
Well, that's the line of the game right there, guys. 2nd down and 9 as McBride rolling to his left. Looking upfield, got his receiver open. Pass is going to be complete by Bishop, and the Warriors get a 1st down. Good job delivering the football by McBride, and a good reception, Paul, by Braden Bishop.
Well, best offensive play of the night so far, actually, as they had a nice 1st down pickup that time. McBride did a good job, Patrick, of rolling out to his left in the pocket and finding Bishop running across the middle. And the Warriors, really, if they could find a way to score before halftime, they really need to if they could in any way possible.
Well, indeed, Paul, as Rucker comes in motion here now as McBride's under a lot of trouble, now rolls to his right and looks upfield and does a good job of just throwing it away.
Tell you what, Ellis really got away with one that time. He almost grabbed the guy and pulled him down, but I think it was Lockett who he was locked in with, and Ellis did. He just reached out and grabbed him, and unfortunately they didn't throw the flag. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Good job right there by McBride. Paul just getting rid of the football. Did a good job of throwing it away. I think right now you're seeing that the Warriors having a hard time offensively on the forward wall of keeping the Tigers out of the backfield right now, Mike.
They really are having a lot of trouble. Ripley has got a very good defensive plan for this ball game here and are very sound in this first half.
Pass is thrown out here in the flats to Ron Winter. Ron's over midfield along the 47-yard line. The unfortunate thing here, the clock continues to run, and the Warriors are forced to burn their timeout. And I think that might be their last one. Actually, I think they got one more left here in the half.
I believe they have one left. If I'm not mistaken, they took one defensively in the first half, and you know, let's give some credit to the Warrior D. I mean, quite frankly, I know they've scored 31 points and they've hung a big score on the scoreboard, Mike. But you know, I'll tell you, quite frankly, they hadn't had to go very far on many of those drives, and you can't do that against a good football team like Ripley. You always have to pin them back as far as you can, and you know, the defense hadn't really played that bad. Unfortunately, it's just been 2 or 3 big plays, a big pass reception, the run by Pearson, and then, of course, the turnover after it was 10-0 to me right now probably is a play that really stands out, that probably puts some distance between the Warriors and probably the Tigers. Good point.
Big plays really are a factor here, and we definitely haven't had a lot of opportunities here in this first half, but Ripley is just a very sound football team, and Coach Allen definitely had them ready to play tonight.
I think we need Frank Wright, guys. He was the quarterback that led the greatest comeback in NFL history. If we can get him out of retirement in the second half, we can sure use him right now.
Winter goes in motion from left to right as it'll bring up 3rd down and 3 As now McBride goes straight back to throw. Now we got flags coming here early, Paul. I think the Warriors may be guilty of an illegal procedure.
But like Jason may have pulled out just a little bit early that time, and will be a legal procedure against the Warriors. Will back them up 5 yards. As the official almost made a mistake, and well, I knew he wasn't going to make a mistake, but did signal the other way. And we need everything we can get right now, because that would have been a first down via the penalty route. But it'll be 3rd down and 9. The Warriors with a big possession play here. 3rd down, 8 yards to go, just inside Warrior territory, right along the 49-yard line. As 25 ticks all that remain here in the first half of play. As pressure coming right up the middle as they come with a little stunt. The ball pops free again, and the Tigers still running with the football over the 30 down inside the 25-yard line. And returning the fumble will look like Doug Carroll, the 6'1", 204-pound senior. And the Tigers have it again. And Paul, I'll be honest with you, they have an opportunity with some timeouts left. They have 2 timeouts left, and the ball inside the 25-yard line. Well, this guy may be right that was down there below us. He said that wasn't the last one. So at 31-0, they have 14 ticks on the clock. The only saving grace the Warriors may have is that there is only 14 seconds left on the clock.
Well, they came with a little bit of a blitz package, it looked like, Mike, and they got some heavy pressure on McBride as Robertson looks upfield, throws it in the middle of the field. Pass is going to be caught. It looks like inside the 5 to about the 1-yard line as the completion. And now we'll have to have it looks like a timeout on the field. Boy, that was a strike right there thrown by Robertson. And a 1st down and go for the Tigers from right along the 1-yard line.
That was definitely on the rope there. Oh, great pass. Not exactly sure what's going on the field, but timeout is taken by the Ripley Tigers.
Let's take one with them, guys. We need to regroup after this one. We'll be back after this message from our local sponsor.
First down and goal to go from the 3. Robertson rolls to his right, looks upfield, pass is incomplete. Intended for Cross.
They still have one more play.
Still have time for one more play, unfortunately, as the clock didn't come to an end on that play. And now the decision facing the Tiger coaching staff, I think, Paul, they're thinking about bringing in the kicker here to try to get the 3 points. But indeed, no. Indeed, it looks like they're just going to go for it.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, what's the difference between 34 and 37 or 38 right here? I'm sure they'd like to score as many as they can. I'm sure they could probably get a lot of their young people a lot of action in the second half. So I'm sure that's probably what the coaching staff from Ripley is thinking right there.
Tall sweep to the right. Pearson trying to get in the end zone, and he does. 2-yard run by Pearson, and he puts the 37th point on the scoreboard for the Tigers as they now lead 37-0. And that was the last play, of course, of the half. Of course, the Tigers will get an opportunity to kick an extra point. And a lot of emotion here on the sideline for the Tigers as they really, really have taken it to the Warriors here in the first half, Mike.
It's been totally Ripley from the opening kickoff, and Pontotoc, I know they're scratching their head trying to figure out what happened here in the first half.
And the extra point on its way and good by Perez. Luciano Perez, this extra point, it's good. We played 1 half. It's been all Ripley. Ripley 38, Pontotoc nothing. And a first half dominated by the Tigers, Mike. And to be quite honest with you, the Warriors have a lot of regrouping that have to be done here during halftime here. Try to come back in here and get some things positive going here before this game's over.
Yeah, they really do. The coaching staff has their work cut out for them because Ripley has been totally dominated by the Ripley Tigers.
And that brings to an end the first half. Ripley 38, Pontotoc nothing.
Featured soloists are Darion Huon, Daniel Payton, Crystal McMillan, Michael Franklin, Brad Griffin, Helen Swan, Timothy Crawford, and Lee Pierce.
Second half of play, Brooks will kick it, and again, it's going to be Winter. Winter over the 5, over the 10, over the 15, 20, and again, sets up right around the 22, 23-yard line. Again, good coverage on special teams by the Tigers, and the Warriors have it 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Of course, the Tigers just look like they have a little more spring, a little quicker step than what the Warriors have thus far in this football game.
Well, they have a little bit of a spring in their step, and they're playing like it, Mike. They've dominated the football game, and quite frankly, we just want to get out of here alive, guys. That's the plea at halftime. We're surrounded. We're on the top level of the stand, so Mike has taken some abuse, Pat.
Yeah, he really has. It's going to be a give. Ellis Scott. Scott may get the 25-yard line. I'll actually still running up to about the 30. The big fella getting some good yardage right there on 1st down. Will be a gain of about 5. We'll bring up 2nd down and 5 yards to go for the Warriors.
And Coach Robbins and his staff would like nothing more than to at least, Mike, just have a way of getting ourselves some respectability in the football game, making some good things happen, and try to come out of this thing with some type of positives.
Yeah, the goal right now is just to break onto the scoreboard and try to get some momentum back. Nothing positive out of the first half, really, for the Warriors.
As it's going to be James White going off left tackle, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and he's going to be harassed and dropped. And a flag comes in here as well about the time the tackle's made. It's going to be a loss on the play, but a hold is going to be called against the Warriors offensively. It's going to be probably declined by the Tigers defensively.
Yeah, they got Ellis right there. He was holding again, and they got him this time. They let him slide at the end of the first half, but that time they tacked on the holding penalty there.
It's 3rd down and 9 yards to go in a possession play for the Warriors, and they'll split near side receiver here in Ron Winter, as in the slot is going to be looks like White. The long back in the backfield is going to be Ellis Scott. Now rolling to his right, McBride looking upfield. Pass is going to be picked off over the 40, inside the 30, down along the 27-yard line. And things continue as the same pace for the Warriors as they were in the first half. Guess what? We're playing the football game on the side of the Warriors side of the field again.
In the second half, we start off, Patrick, at same song, different verse, because quite frankly right now, the same things that happened in the first half are happening again here, starting on the first drive of the second half.
1st down and 10 yards to go for the Tigers right inside their 20-yard line, actually the 20-yard line at that spot, as they run an option play and give it to a good open field tackle by Pickett on Pearson right around the 20-yard line. And that young man's played hard. He hadn't quit playing.
He really hadn't. He's kept his head, and nice open field tackle there by Rob Pickett.
Interesting play that time. Looked like you see a lot of counter options, but I've never seen one quite run that way.
Very strange looking.
As Pearson is limping off the field, but the way they ran that particular play is one that I've never seen it ran quite in that manner before.
And Pearson goes off the field a little bit shaken up. They give it to Brooks, and Brooks running over the 20, right along the 15-yard line. Will be a gain of about 5. We'll bring up 3rd down and 5 yards to go for the 1st down.
Well, possession play here for the Ripley Tigers, and defensively, the Warriors need to step up and make some type of stop and give themselves something to be proud of. I mean, one thing that as a coach you always want your players to play the whistle and you never want them to give up because, quite frankly, that's a sign of weakness. You always want to play to the whistle. I'm sure that's something that Coach Robbins and his staff talked about in the halftime.
And it's going to be Brooks staying on his feet. Brooks plunging in from about 15 yards out and a touchdown. The big fullback, Jimmy Brooks, getting into the end zone. And they tack 6 more on the board. 9:19 remaining here in the third quarter of play. And Ripley has extended that lead to 44-0 over the Pontotoc Warriors.
Well, 44-0, Patrick, and it is Friday the 13th, and quite frankly, things have gotten a little uglier than they were. We didn't know it could get any uglier, but 44-0, and well, I don't know. We'll have to go back for a long time, Patrick, to maybe think of a time that Pontotoc has probably been beaten this badly in this series. We'll kind of look at it here in a couple minutes.
And Perez tacks on the extra point.
In 1981, Ripley beat Pontotoc 40-0, and that was probably the worst loss the Warriors have ever been handed in this
Mike,
series.
let's go down this sponsor list if you could.
All right, Daffodils, Flowers and Finery of Pontotoc, Charlie Robinson Cattle Buyers, Springer Discount Mobile Homes, Houston, Pontotoc, and Woodland locations, Stigall Ford in Pontotoc, Classic Exteriors, professional vinyl siding installation located in Houston, Mississippi, Hunter's Hollow in Oxford, and CNR Cattle Company. Charlie and Chuck Robinson, proud sponsors of tonight's Ripley Pontotoc matchup.
In 1981 and 1982, Ripley defeated Pontotoc both years 40-0 in 80 and 42-0 in 81. So those would be the last 2 times that the Warriors were actually handed a loss this badly, and maybe by any team. I can't remember Pontotoc losing this badly to anyone in a long, long time.
45-0, 9:19 remaining in the third quarter, and Mr. Brooks, who's probably getting a pretty sore foot right now, kicks it off, and James White takes it. He runs over the 30 up to about the 32, and the Warriors set up shop 1st and 10 from that point here with 9:13 remaining in the first quarter of play.
I'm glad it's not the first quarter. I think it's actually the third
quarter. Excuse me.
we wouldn't want to go through this again, Pat. But
guys, my mind's wandering. I'm a little bit. I'm looking here at these statistics here for the first half, and guys, the Warriors, to my best mathematical knowledge, which is not very, very much, mustered 69 yards of total offense in the first half.
It's really hard to do a whole lot with 69 yards total offense in a game of this caliber. Pontotoc just looking to keep their composure here and do all they can do.
Well, they throw one to Winter out of the backfield, and he's hit and dropped over the 36 to the 37-yard line. Justin Luster came up and dropped him at the 38-yard line, and it will be second down, and some 5 yards to go for the first down. Second down and 5 yards to go for the Warriors from right along the 38-yard line. 5-yard completion for McBride. Timeout on the field called by Ripley, and we'll take it with them. We'll return after these messages from our sponsor. And a fly pattern, and he threw one here in the flats, incomplete. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
Well, 3rd down, 5 yards to go, possession play. Probably, you know, I don't know exactly what you look for in something like this, Patrick. There's nothing that you can get as far as a moral victory, because I'm sure coaches don't want to think about that. But it'd be nice to pick up a 1st down right here.
Yeah, it really would. Pontotoc still looking for plays that might work against this tough Ripley defense.
And they get it to Rucker. Rucker swinging outside, gets up to about the 39-yard line, well shy of the 1st down. And it'll be 4th down, and the Warriors forced to punt.
I'd go for it, guys. I'm serious. You know, I mean, you're punting the football to them, and the same end result could happen. I mean, if you're 4th down and 1, I think they'll probably punt the football. But, you know, I mean, seriously, 4th and 4. The way they move the football, I mean, I don't know if it really makes a difference where you give it to them on the football field, really. You know, it'd be nice to pick up a 1st down and build on something.
Well, Braden Bishop will check in and drop back along his 25-yard line, and Jordan set to return it right along the 30 as Bishop will step forward, gets a little bit of pressure, and it's going to be Jordan at the 30. Looking for a seam to run through now. He's going to be back to about the 35. He's in a world of trouble and dropped. Inside the 30, like for the Warriors, might have been Neil Mays who came up to make the play on special teams. And a good job by the Warriors on special teams, bottling up the young man and dropping him for a loss. Good coverage right there, Mike.
Well, that's a positive that you can build on there, Mike. Neil made a good job of getting up the field and making the play.
Neil Mays has been big for the Warriors several times this year. He's been a pleasant surprise, not heard of before this year as far as Warrior football is concerned, but has come up with some big plays this year and has been a pleasant surprise for the Warriors so far. Warriors need a real big stand here on defense to keep the Ripley Tigers at bay.
Indeed, and this time it's going to be a carry. It looks like it's Junior Peaches. And guys, I'm saying that right, Junior Peaches, the tailback. And maybe picks up a yard or two on the play. We'll bring up 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Obviously not Vashawn Pearson, but Peaches picks up a yard or two. We'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was our little buddy, number 11, Rob Pickett, with another tackle here tonight. He's been a bright spot, if there is one, for the Pontotoc Warriors so far.
And it's going to be the fullback, Clinton Thomas, and dancing around around the 26, 27-yard line. And that's your buddy Mays again making the play. Mike making the stop defensively, and it'll bring up 3rd down. And about 9 yards to go, 8 yards to go for the 1st down.
If anyone's listening, guys, we'll start talking a little bit about the SEC games tomorrow. What do you think? That might be something that might garner some attention. If anyone's listening, I don't know. It's late in the ball game. We'll talk about it after this play.
And again, it'll be Peaches one more time, and he just explodes through the hole. He's met pretty rudely over the 35 to the 37-yard line. But Mr. Rucker did a good job of introducing himself to him, but not before he got a 1st down. And a 1st down registered again by the Tigers. They'll keep the drive going.
Well, tomorrow afternoon, Patrick, the first football game that comes to mind to me is going to be played over in Columbia. I think Arkansas will visit South Carolina to play over in the chicken coop is what I call it, after going over there 2 or 3 weeks ago and watching a football game myself.
And Thomas over the 40 up to about the 42.
But back to the game between South Carolina and Arkansas. I went there a couple weeks ago, guys, and Mike, I'm sure you've never been there before. Maybe you have, but you have been there. No, you haven't. But that place is absolutely loud. I've never been to a place that was as loud as that place was. I like South Carolina tomorrow at home against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas has a lot of injuries with Cobbs not playing. It's really hurting them bad.
Boy, Akeem Lockett, big hole over the 45, over the 40, down to along the 39-yard line, and another 1st down for the Tigers. You mean that place is louder than the Dog Pound?
It was the other day. At South Carolina, it's extremely loud. They have a rooster that crows, and it's on some type of I don't know exactly what type of sound system it's on, but man, when that rooster starts crowing, it gets loud, and that place was extremely loud. South Carolina, I like them tomorrow at home against Arkansas, and if they win, I believe they become bowl eligible.
And a good stick again in the backfield. And tell you what, guys, Mr. Pickett's had a heck of a night. The Warriors have struggled, but now I tell you what, he's had a heck of a night. He upended Mr. Peaches, and did a good job of just turning him over head over heels.
Rob Pickett, just a great young kid here for the Pontotoc Warriors. He's a great young man and has had a pleasant night here on the field. Unlike the rest of the Warriors, he's had a great performance here so far.
And it's going to be a give to the fullback over the 40 down to about the 37. Ella Scott and Lockett meet each other there, square up, and this time Mr. Lockett, along with some help, Ella Scott getting a little help. Looked like for the Warriors making some help from a defensive tackle, and they drop him along the 37-yard line.
Well, if you're Pontotoc, you have to find something to build on, because next week's another big game. I mean, even though it doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or by 61 tonight. Next week you have to turn around and play against a good New Albany team, and you have to find a way to get yourself back up and play against them, because that's a big game.
And Peaches just explodes through the hole again, over the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. And right now, guys, you can just see it. It's all over the Warriors players' faces. They just want this one over. I mean, you can't blame them, guys, but they're really, really right now not playing with very much emotion at all defensively, and need to come here and try to find something positive, Mike.
Yeah, Pontotoc is just flat, really no emotion from the sideline or on the field, and this Ripley Tiger team is just really, really putting it to the Warriors right now.
And Lockett over the 25 down to the 24.
Stop by Lester Jones.
As making the stop defensively was Kendall Crum along with Lester Jones.
Back to next week again against New Albany. New Albany, new coaching staff at New Albany. Patrick, the young man that's the coach now, I can't think of his name. He's came in from Starkville. He was an assistant coach at Starkville High School. Has really turned that program around, and they're playing everybody well. And next week at home for Pontotoc, the last home game of the year, if I'm not mistaken, too, will be a test for the Warriors. And they need somehow to find a way to win that football game, but to at least give themselves a chance to make the playoffs still against Corinth the next week. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's going to be a challenge to beat Corinth at Corinth, just to be honest with you.
Well, guys, the Warriors have some major challenges ahead of them, and a lot of questions that have to be answered this week in practice.
It'll be a real gut check for the Warriors. New Albany will be coming to the Hollow in Pontotoc next Friday night, but it'll be a great test. And as Paul mentioned earlier, Corinth has a great team. Mr. Brown, the quarterback, is some kind of athlete there for Corinth, and Coach Jimmy Mitchell will be coming back to haunt the Warriors if any way possible here in about 2 weeks.
Pickett made the stop again. The young man made the play, but there's no question. Coach Mitchell last year when Pontotoc played, I think Mike, me and you may have done that game together if I'm not mistaken. Patrick may have not been there, and the young man was incredible. It came down almost to the last series of the game. Pontotoc had to have a great defensive stop to win the football game, and to be honest with you, Corinth's a much improved football team from them. They beat this team right here 14-9, I think 2-3 weeks ago. So Warriors have their hands full.
And Lockett again on the carry, finds 4 or 5 yards on the play, and nothing really very special about what they're doing right now. Just real simple smash mouth football, and guys are running some clock and eating up field position as well, as they are now on the Warrior end of the field again, as they give it to Peaches, and he's hit up in the backfield, and this time bounces off and is going to be corralled by some Warriors along the line of scrimmage. Good lateral pursuit defensively for the Warriors, and they knock him off his feet. No gain on the play, maybe a gain of a yard or two. We'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Peaches shows a little bit of a burst, though, for the little guy. We were making a little fun of his name, but the young man came in for Pearson, and he's got a little bit of a quick step and a little burst, Paul.
Well, he's ran the football very authoritatively and has looked good on the drive. And you think about it, this drive started way back down here on the end of the field, and they proceeded to go a long way with it.
And it's Peaches again, and Paul this time not going to have the first down, going to be shy. And it will bring up 4th down, and the Tigers will be faced with a decision here whether or not try to keep possession of this football and generate a first down, or bring the kicking team in to attempt a field goal. And their decision has been made. Looks like they're going to go for it. So they keep Peaches and Lockett in the backfield, as they'll have an eye in the backfield behind actually the quarterback that they have in. They have a new kid actually in at quarterback, and Mickey Ratliff. And I'm not sure if he's going to have the first down or not, Paul. I think that Lockett's going to be shy of the first down. Going to be a right foot, left foot spot. We'll have to wait and see from what the officials call. But indeed, looks like from our vantage point, maybe, just maybe, he might be shy. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, we'll have to wait from the preliminary indication from everyone here to see if they did pick up the first down. And unfortunately, we'll have to wait for them to bring it in, as I thought the clock would tick on down the end of the quarter, but I wait to see the guys walking across the field to measure, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. The Warriors have held.
Well, they have held, and they get the football back. 15 ticks remaining in the 3rd quarter of play, and the Tigers holding a commanding 45-0 lead here with 15 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter. Guys, I didn't get a chance to pick that South Carolina-Arkansas game. I'm a little bit offended about that.
Go ahead. Let's let Mike pick it first.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mike didn't get a chance to either. I'm sure he's offended.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm going to have to agree with what you said earlier, Paul. I'm going to have to go with South Carolina at home. Lou Holtz has got the kids in South Carolina playing some good ball, and with Cobbs on On injured reserve, I definitely would have to agree with you, Paul, and I'll go with South Carolina.
And that run will bring to an end the third quarter of play, and I'll be right back with my pick. I know you guys will be looking forward
I think
to
I'm going to get me some of this funnel cake when we're here at the break.
Through three, Ripley 45, Pontotoc nothing. And we return. We begin the third quarter play. James White, ball on the ground. And looks like the Tigers have recovered it, scoop it up, and boy, this has just not been the Warriors' night. This is going to be one, that guys, that we're going to remember a long time and hope to forget.
Yeah, we really do. We're just trying to get out of here right now. This crowd is really
right
into
now,
it.
guys.
And the Tigers have it first and goal from the 5-yard line. James White just couldn't hold on to the football, and Ripley alertly just picks it up and scoops it up, runs with the ball. And guys, they're put some more points on the board.
Pat, we've been doing these games like this for a long, long time, and I've never ran into an experience quite like we've had tonight, having to do it up on the top level of the stands. And I can tell you, 2 years ago, I was here when Pontotoc beat Ripley when Tremaine Fryston had the big game, and I did it on radio that night by myself. Patrick, I believe you weren't with me. And I did it on the top level of the stands, and it felt pretty good. We beat them pretty bad, but it hadn't been fun tonight at all.
Yeah, we took some ridicule and abuse. And there's a carry in the backfield, maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage as a ball carrier probably lost a yard or two. James White does a good job of putting it to the earth right there, but you're right. This has been a long one for the Warriors. It seems like that we've been on the air a very short amount of time, but I'm sure the Warrior players on the field, they don't feel the same way we do right now.
Back to South Carolina, Arkansas. I'm sure Lou Holtz would like nothing more than to beat his old nemesis, his old school, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Pat, we didn't get your pick. Go ahead and give it to us.
Guys, I'm almost tempted to go with Arkansas. I really, really am. I feel like Arkansas has an opportunity, but they're lacking a little bit offensively right now, it seems, and are searching for some answers offensively with some people carrying the football. So I guess I have to go with the home team, but I think it'll be a real close one. But I'll take South Carolina in a close one.
Florida Auburn tomorrow at the Swamp. I think there was somebody that said the battle of the loser from the Bulldogs the last 2 weeks. I think I saw that in the paper earlier in the week. I tell you what, Patrick, the one thing that I do realize in this game, I believe Auburn will run the football against Florida. And for some reason or another, I just have a feeling that Auburn may come out with a shocker tomorrow for some reason or another in the Swamp in Gainesville.
Indeed, rolling to the right, the Ripley quarterback passing the end zone, in and out of the receiver's hands, which appeared to be Massengill, as Ratliff threw the football to him. And boy, I tell you what, Deidre Clark there getting just a shade late, but that's just been the way the Warriors have been all night, a shade late. Just not one of their better efforts, and looks like that Ripley appears to maybe be going for it from 4th down and goal to go from the 10. With 10:25 remaining here in the football game, leading 45-0. Have an eye in the backfield as they'll roll to the right. The quarterback does now, looks upfield, and pass is going to be nearly picked off by Deidre Clark. And Deidre was looking at nothing but sidelines and headlines because he had an opportunity to take that one back, but can't hold on to the football, and the Warriors, however, do hold them and get the football for their offense.
Well, that's kind of the way it's gone all night long. I mean, that's kind of typical of the way it's been. Dietrich had a pick. Of course, it was 4th down anyway, but you'd like to see that young man running with the football there. There's an opportunity that he might put up our first points of the game. We might get a cheapie. Mike, how do you see the game tomorrow between Florida and Auburn at the Swamp?
I think Spurrier got a wake-up call in Starkville a couple weeks ago, and I believe he'll have his team ready to go. Tuberville, like you mentioned, will probably try to run the ball with Rudy Johnson, but I'm going to have to go with Florida in the Swamp.
You know, guys, I'm kind of like Paul. I am very, very tempted to go with Auburn. I guess you say, well, Pat, you've been wishy-washy on both picks because you are tempted to go with Arkansas and tempted to go with Auburn. I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn doesn't win that game. Auburn's going to play better than what they did last week. I think that they didn't play as good as they could play, and I think they'll play with better effort and intensity. But I think Florida wins in the swamp as well, in a close one. McBride looking upfield, no one to throw it to, and good job and a good catch by the Ripley coach.
Kentucky and LSU tomorrow, Patrick. I think that game's played in Baton Rouge. LSU, after the big win against Tennessee, last week against Florida, Florida kind of got well in a hurry at LSU's expense. I like LSU tomorrow night playing at home. I think they're just too much for Kentucky playing at home tomorrow night.
I agree. I'm not impressed with Kentucky at all. I think that LSU wins that game. I think Kentucky's a team of the future, but I think right now that they're kind of grounded. I think they're going to be in trouble and going to lose tomorrow night at LSU. McBride going to be dropped in the backfield for a loss and sacked, and it will bring up 4th down, and the Warriors are going to be forced to punt it again.
Pontotoc just looking for anything positive at this point, and have yet to find it here with 9 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in this game. Punting out of the end zone now will be Braden Bishop.
Mike, how do you see the game between Kentucky and LSU tomorrow night? Your observations?
I don't believe Kentucky will have enough power to upend the Tigers in Baton Rouge tomorrow, but Kentucky is definitely have some brighter days down the road.
I agree. Kentucky with brighter days on the road, but lose tomorrow. Timeout on the field, we'll take it with them. And with 9:34 remaining, Braden Bishop will step forward, and again, the ball is going to hit and take a skip over the 45-yard line, and unable to handle the punt for the Tigers, the young man Clint Jordan, and they'll set up shot 1st and 10 along their own 45-yard line. Again, a very familiar scene as Ripley has it on the Warrior side of the football field.
On the 45-yard line, Ripley will bring back in their offensive unit. Pontotoc just trying to hold on for dear life here and keep Ripley off the scoreboard here in the last 9 minutes of this game, which will be a big test for this Warrior defense, who has been on the field way too much here tonight.
Oh, they have, and this is just a state of shock. These kids are, Paul, that they're, it's going to be interesting to see how the Warriors' psyche is next week. If they're able to gather themselves and get back up, because I tell you what, major test facing them next week in practice.
Well, you're exactly right. They'll have to find a way to shake the cobwebs off and have an opportunity. Who's the young man from Pontotoc that got injured that's walking off the field? Mike, are you able to tell who that young man is? I wasn't able to tell. Were you able to pick it up?
No, I wasn't aware of the injury there, and I'm not exactly sure who that is.
Maybe it may have been the young man that was hurt in the first half. I'm not really sure that was playing cornerback, but
they run it just off right tackle, and they get over the 40 up to about the 39. What is it, Mike?
I'm not exactly sure, but Peach's shoulder pads and all are down here on the sideline for Ripley, and that very well could be Peach's that's being helped off the field here with black trousers. It's hard to tell without a jersey on exactly what team that player's from, but with Peach's shoulder pads on the sideline, it may be him.
And the Warriors have took the football away, guys, and I believe, I think they have just picked up a turnover and have gotten the ball back defensively with 8:18 remaining. And now, guys, we have the battle of the bands. As both of them trying to outdo the other. Of course, we know that that's one contest the Warriors going to win tonight.
Yeah, we would think so. Pontotoc very, very strong in the band department, and Brian Gillentine does a very good job with them there.
1st and 10 as McBride drops straight back. Pass is going to be picked off. Intended for Winter, and it's going to be picked off, and it's going to be the little guy, Jordan, back around midfield. And he's going to do a good job of bringing it back all the way on the Warriors side of the football field again. Right around midfield, and Ripley sets it up 1st and 10 from that spot all over again with a commanding 45-0 lead here in this 4th and final quarter of play.
Well, tomorrow evening, I believe, Patrick, you're going to make the journey to Tuscaloosa and watch your beloved Rebels play, if I'm not mistaken. They play tomorrow night against Alabama on ESPN. And Mike, your observations on that game?
I bleed red and blue also, and I hope my Rebels can find enough offense and enough defense to pull out a victory. But I know it's going to be tough in Tuscaloosa tomorrow, but hopefully the Rebels will come out on top.
Arthur Green on a carry and gets about 3 on the play. Will bring up 2nd down and 7. You're right, Mike. It'll be awfully tough because, quite honestly, history is not on their side. They have had very little success in going over there and winning, and actually winning, period. Yeah, so they right now have a commanding. They've had a commanding lead in the series for some time in the years past, and of course you'd have to think that the Rebels will need to get a little bit of a lead early and get ahead early, get some confidence, and can't afford to do what happened to them last year and get behind and have to fight their way back. Because obviously, if they would have done that last year, they'd have won the game.
You're exactly right. Ole Miss needing to come out early and put some points on the board, as you stated earlier, and don't need to get behind and have to come from behind. And hopefully tomorrow the Rebels will come to play and we'll have a good showing on ESPN tomorrow night.
It's going to be short of the first down, so it'll bring up 4th down for the Tigers, and decision time for the Tigers again here. More than likely, we'll try to get this first down and keep the football and keep the clock moving. Temperature's dipping a little bit, Mike.
It really is. It's starting. The chill is definitely starting to come in here. It's very hard to believe. Temperatures in the mid 80s tomorrow predicted, and tonight we've got some very, very cool temperatures with a full moon once again tonight on this Friday the 13th.
And it's been definitely a Friday the 13th that the Warriors would just as soon to forget. With 5:52 remaining in this contest, Ripley leading 45-0. And as you mentioned, big game though tomorrow. The Warriors, the Rebels, the Rebels and the Tide, and it ought to be interesting to see what happens when these two do battle tomorrow in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to make the trip, Mike. Are you going to try to go as well?
I would like to, but I'm sorry to say that I'll have to watch it on TV tomorrow night. I'm not going to be able to make the trip, and hope the best for the Rebels and hope to come out on top.
Indeed, it's going to be Robertson. He's going to kick it, and Winter's going to take it in at his 15 and fumbles it again. And whew, just been one of those nights for the Warriors. I tell you, they've had a terrible time hanging on to the football, had several turnovers, a lot of miscues, and they get the football alertly as Winter does do a good job of just bouncing back on it. But guys, it's been thorough domination from Ripley here from the start.
Pontotoc has just been totally out of sync, and not sure if it's nerves or what, but Pontotoc just never has been in this game from the very get-go, and just looking to make some positive yards and try to run off some of this 5 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in this contest.
And McBride will give to Winter, actually to James White. White maybe finds a yard or two up to about the 18-yard line, and nothing more. We'll call it a gain of 1. Bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Warriors.
McBride bringing in the play to the huddle here. Very little momentum so far in the second half. Hoping to come out, gain some positive yardage here on this drive, but Pontotoc just needing to do something to make a positive effort here.
And White finds the 30 up to about the 33. Good pickup on the play of about 13 and a first down. And, just looking at, remembering this contest, the Warriors have really not strung any first downs together. I think maybe they've had a possession or two where they've maybe put 2 together, maybe one time having 3 on one drive. But, Mike, they've not had any they haven't strung any first downs together the entire night.
No, we really haven't. Ripley defense has been tough all night and been very, very, very tough here.
And James White again finding positive running room up to about the 40. Will be a gain of about 6. We'll bring up 2nd down and 4 as the Warriors pick up a nice play on first down of about 6 yards. With a little over 4 minutes remaining here in the and the football game. Trailing 45-0, as again White remains the lone back in the backfield. As McBride will have Rucker, the wing to the right, the wing to the left is going to be Winter. How they just run together in the backfield. Winter just does a good job of getting the corner, gets inside the 40 up to about the 45-yard line, and Ron just about did most of that on his own.
He really did. He showed a little speed to get the corner and fell forward all the way up to the 45-yard line to give his Warriors a first down, and it'd be great for Pontotoc's confidence just to be able to maybe get some points on the board here to end this game.
Well, they pick up 6 and get a first down, and like you said, we'll string consecutive first downs together for the first time here in the second half. Again, running the option play, McBride this time just keeping it himself, and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. We'll call it no gain on the play. We'll bring up second down and 10 for the Warriors.
Well, I've been gone for a few minutes, guys. I don't think I missed that much, but I'll give you my Ole Miss Alabama pick. Will that be fine?
Sure.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard the Rebels beat the Tide every 12 years. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the 12th year in that series. They lost. They won last in 1988 on the famous Sean Sykes run. Have y'all talked about that already?
No, we haven't.
And so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going on a limb. I'm going to pick the Rebels to win tomorrow in the 12th year, because the 12th year syndrome. Tonight's Friday the 13th. Tomorrow night the Rebels win.
Well, I hope you're right. I wish I had a better confident feeling about it, but you know, the biggest thing for the Rebels is going to depend, in my own personal opinion, Mike, is if they got it between their ears and believe they can do it.
That means so much in any kind of athletics, to believe in yourself and to believe you can win. And tomorrow night, the Rebels definitely have to believe they have a chance to win, to be able to win.
And a little short pass here intended for Winter. Actually, not Winter, but intended for White, out of the backfield, incomplete. We'll bring up third down and actually fourth down and less than a yard to go. And the Warriors facing a possession play, needing a first down to keep this drive going. Well, you know, guys, I'm telling you, the key to the football game will come down to the play of quarterback Romero Miller. And I know you think, well, gosh, why do you say that? And the Warriors get in the carry. White over the 30, so over the 30-yard line around the 29, and a first down. And the Warriors continue the drive. And of course, the Ripley Tiger players having a good time at the expense of their coaches right now, as they're getting everybody a bath down there.
Well, that's probably Coach Allen's first coaching win against Pontotoc. I know at New Albany, I don't remember Coach Allen ever winning against Pontotoc as a coach there, Mike. If I can, my memory serves me right.
I believe you're correct in saying that. That's his first victory, and James White is just bulldozing over several Ripley defenders here, trying desperately to get in the end zone here for the Warriors.
Indeed, he picks up 16 yards, and yet, guys, he's really having a pretty good night. He's padding these stats pretty good. Looking at what he's done here in the second half, and he's having a pretty good half.
Yeah, he really is. 1 minute 46 seconds remaining here in this contest, and Pontotoc desperately needing to get in the end zone and getting some help right here.
Well, indeed, they tack on some more of the penalty yardage. And I'll be honest with you guys, you want to get in the end zone right here. I mean, in this game with a positive and something to build on, you know, these coaches can say, hey, guys, you didn't quit. You got to score here before this one was over. You know, something to build on, Paul.
Well, you're exactly right, and it looks like James White is going to get in the end zone, and the Warriors have scored, oh, by the way, touchdown, but still, we'll take it.
Yeah, James White from 8 yards out has put 6 on the board for the Warriors. And with 1 minute, and 35 seconds remaining here in this football game, the Warriors have put 6 points on the board. And Bass will come in to attempt the extra point. Yes, Mike.
Bass has been real solid all year. A great young kicker. Hope he'll stick with it and be a bright spot for the Warriors for many years to come here.
Well, he's got plenty of leg. We know that. Now we've got penalty flags flying in. And, guys, the Warriors are a lot better football team than they showed tonight. I mean, this is an excellent, excellent Ripley football team. And to be quite honest, guys, they were the better football team tonight, a lot better tonight. But the Warriors can perform better than this, and I'm sure right now that Coach Robbins, he's going to reiterate that to his players. Guys, this thing's not over. We got to right the ship. We still got division games left. We can still make the playoffs, but we've got to improve and perform better in the remaining 3 games.
Yeah, they were outmatched from the get-go here tonight. Ripley, with a very, very sound game plan, came out and took care of business early, and the ball game was really decided in the opening quarter here tonight. And Pontotoc definitely has to regroup before next week, and hopefully we'll have a better showing against the New Albany Bulldogs next Friday night in the Hollow.
Mike, if you could, run down that sponsor list if you could.
All right, Tudor Funeral Home in Pontotoc, Jackson Implement Company, Montgomery Drugs, First National Bank, JB's Quick Stop, Russell Oil Company, The People's Bank, Hangouts Daycare, Ken Nowlin Insurance, OneCall.com, Daffodils Flowers and Refinery, Charlie Robinson Cattle Buyers, Springer Discount Mobile Homes, Stegall Ford, Classics Exteriors, Hunter's Hollow, and CNR Cattle Company. All proud sponsors of tonight's Pontotoc-Ripley matchup.
Well, guys, I tell you what, the hosts from Ripley have not been what I consider the most pleasant host here tonight. I'll be honest, guys. I don't care. It may sound like sour grapes here, but a lot of ridicule that we've taken up here. We've made fun in light of it, which is we've had a little fun with it. But they've mimicked and mocked the Warrior. The Warrior chant and of course the Tomahawk chant.
There's one thing to remember.
We're going to remember this, guys.
Just remember what goes around comes around, and you know, I mean, you look at the series, and I watched it a couple minutes ago, and the Warriors have won 7 out of the last 10 games between them and Ripley before tonight. So, you know, I mean, they were due a big game, and they've got the win over us tonight. But there will be another day for the Warriors.
Guys, y'all are exactly right. I believe if you'll check the lineup for Ripley, I believe they have some 14 seniors on the squad this year, and their day very well could come in the years ahead, and Pontotoc will definitely be looking for revenge in years to come.
Well, every dog has its day, and you know, tonight's their day, and I'm proud for them. I hope they do well, and I'm sure they'll be. But I'm gonna tell you guys, they could. You know, if the Warriors could go to Corinth and win the football game and win by more than 12, I think actually that's a key number in that game. Would I not be correct in saying that? They have to win by more than 12 points in the football game to have a chance to make the playoffs, because that key number, remember it last year, Patrick, was 12.
Well, Ripley has it 1st and 10 at their own 20 and get it up to about the 23, 24-yard line, and they'll probably snap this one or two more times, and will bring officially to an end to this football game. But you're right, guys. This one's been all Ripley tonight, and they've came out and earned it. Of course, the Warriors and the Tigers, of course, will do battle again, and I'm sure that the Warriors will remember this one, and will remember it for future reference, or this game for future reference, and there will be a day of reckoning. But today it will belong to the Ripley Tigers.
Well, it will, and Coach Allen shows some class. He does drop to one knee. He is a class man anyway. Terry Allen, one of the fine coaches, and Patrick, he really is. I've heard nothing but good things. I know a young man whose son played for him at New Albany and talks and says nothing but high things about him. And Coach Allen kind of got a raw deal at New Albany, but I think he came out a lot better with the football team he has now. And he'll, you know, it'll be fun when New Albany and Ripley get together. And so this one's going to come to a close. But Pontotoc, next week there'll be another day, Patrick and Mike, and next week will be an opportunity for them when they play against New Albany at home. And New Albany will be a tough test, but by the same token, it's a football game that Pontotoc, if they still want to have a chance to make the playoffs, have got to win the football game, Mike.
I think Coach Robbins and his staff will have these boys ready to play again next Friday night. They took a real good whipping here tonight in Ripley, but I believe you'll see a different team come out at home next Friday night against the New Albany Bulldogs.
Well, they can't really play probably any worse, and not saying that we played bad tonight. You know, if we would have played our A game tonight, I still don't know if we win this ball game tonight. I mean, honestly, to me, there was no question. The best football team tonight was they were wearing black and gold, but unfortunately it wasn't the right color or right shade of black and gold. And we've had a lot of fun in the second half. We had to get ourselves through this one. And whether anybody listened to us or not back in Pontotoc, and I'm sure it'll be on tomorrow morning, if anybody's watching right now, just remember, when we get a chance, we owe this bunch right here another. I think Mike could agree with me when I say this. We really owe this bunch right here a lot.
Yeah, we really do. Been fun tonight, Patrick and Paul. Even though we did take a pretty good whipping here, it's been a pleasant evening here.
Well, guys, you know we always have players of the game, and of course I know that right now it's kind of irrelevant, but guys, I think defensively we'll have to say Rob Pickett. He was the defensive player of the game. The young man played awfully well. Offensively, guys, I would say James White in the second half. Believe it or not, James, I have him 12 carries, 72 yards in the football game. So those two young men
and a touchdown as well.
And a touchdown are our the player. And the Warriors had 143 yards of total offense in the football game. They had 69 in the first half as well. Actually, 69 in the first half, 74 in the second half, for a total of 143. Tell you what, not one of the better nights to be a Warrior, of course, but there'll be another day. Season's not over. The Warriors have to refocus and come back and get New Albany next week. And, of course, Corinth as well. The following week, they got some major tasks ahead of them, but got a coaching staff that knows how to get this team focused, and we got a good group of coaches that, tell you what, they'll have them ready to play.
Well, that's the key, Pat. You said a mouthful just then, and you were exactly astute in your statements. We have the coaching staff at Pontotoc that they're resilient, and they'll find a way to get these young men. Hey, forget the loss. It's over with. I mean, it didn't matter if you'd have won this football game. I mean, if we lost the football game 44-43 instead of 45-7, it wouldn't matter, guys. It still was a loss, one way or the other. And the thing about it is, like you said, Patrick, you know, Pontotoc's got one task at hand. Next week it's New Albany, and they have to win the football game just to give themselves a chance to have an opportunity for postseason play. And you win that game, and then you see what happens at Corinth. I mean, stranger things have happened. I mean, you know, just like things weren't going well for us tonight, things could go that badly for Corinth. I will say this, guys, and I'm not just saying, you know, Patrick knows I work in Corinth and I live in Boonville, and those folks are really excited about their football team, and as well they should be. And this is, I don't know if you guys know this or not, this is Corinth's first chance ever to have an undefeated regular season. They've never had an undefeated regular season at Corinth High School, and they believe that they can win against Pontotoc. And of course, I'm sure they probably feel pretty good about themselves after watching the score here tonight. They feel like they're playing North Pontotoc tonight in their homecoming game. They feel like they're going to be undefeated. So, and Corinth, that's a big thing for them. They won a big game last week against Water Valley. So, keep things alive next week, beat New Albany, go to Corinth, see what happens.
Well, the first important step for the Warriors is not Corinth, but it's New Albany. I mean, guys, you go lose next week and you can go ahead and pack it up. So you got to come back, beat a good New Albany team, guys. It'll be a challenge. It'll be a heck of a challenge. But, you know, I look back, I remember the Warriors. I mean, last year, we talked about this last year. Kasuth came in and just whipped Ripley here last year. And then they came back a week or two later after losing to Ripley and beat the Warriors.
Exactly. Good point.
So you know, you've got to, and, you know, I'm sure that thing debacled like crazy for them last year against Kasuth. This one was a debacle for the Warriors. So the Warriors have to keep faith, have to come back and be resilient, come back and be ready to play the final 3 weeks and play to the final gun.
Mike, Patrick, a little scenario I was going to throw at you. If Pontotoc does defeat New Albany and does find a way to beat Corinth by more than 12, how do they decide who the two playoff teams are?
Good one, guys. Let's don't even think about that. It's a long way away.
Good. I hope and pray Pontotoc puts people in position to do that.
This guy right here.
But indeed, this one belongs to the man. This one belongs to the Ripley Tigers tonight, and they win this one 45-7, and will move their record to 7 wins against a loss, and the Warriors dropped to 7 wins against the loss. And
get him.
7 wins against 1 loss for the Ripley Tigers. Of course, the Warriors lose their first game in division play as well. Now Ripley with 1 loss in division play. So the Warriors in a tie here for second division play, trailing Corinth.
We found out that our friend here that's been giving us trouble all night is a preacher. And we'll definitely say an extra prayer for him tonight.
Guys, I think we ought to sign off with that one. I really do. We've had a lot of fun here in the second half. And Mike, I can't resist that one. Probably Patrick said he had the one-liner of the night in the first half. That very well may have been the one-liner of the year. So quite frankly, we'll tell you what we'll do, Bill. We're just going to end it with that. Next week, the Warriors will be back at home as they'll play against the New Albany Bulldogs. And good luck to the Warriors next week. Maybe they can come out and get a win. For Patrick Blansett, for Mike Campbell, I'm Paul Blansett, bidding you a very pleasant good evening from the campus of Ripley High School.